Hey guys, it's Disciple Tarot here. I got a new video for you. We are going to be looking at your mind, your body, and your spirit for today. Sort of a checkup of what's going on. It's a medical appointment today, okay? And we will be using the Simplicity Tarot today. So, I like this deck. The cards are like almost like little wooden coasters. That's what they feel like. So we are going to be checking out the mind. Okay, so we have some conflict, the Five of Swords. The body, okay. Six of Swords. And the spirit. All right. So, get these straightened. Okay. So we have the mind as the Five of Swords, the body as the Six of Swords, and the spirit as the Star. So the way I'd like to interpret this, for the Five of Swords, the mind, think about what's on your mind, because there may be a lot. And I feel a lot of us could relate to this, this card most days, right? We have a lot on our minds and we're sort of fighting ourselves or maybe battling intellectually with others without really realizing it, just conflict. So think about what conflict is in your mind right now. What is causing you a lot of stress, possible anxiety? What sort of arguments are you getting into with others? What are they about? Think about that. What exactly is it? Because I think it's something that, needs to be addressed. And we'll certainly do that here in the reading. But what conflict is really in the mind? And then with that in mind, you have the body, right? The Six of Swords. So it is like an escape. It's almost like you physically want to or need to at this point, right? Need to move away from, it could be like yourself. It could be like from this conflict. That's what it feels like. There's a lot that you are dealing with, and it feels like you just want to get away from it all. You want to get away from that conflict. So in what ways are you trying to escape sort of yourself? even if this is conflict with other people, this is on the level of the mind. So what conflict are you trying to run away from? Again, the conflict that is the Five of Swords, what we were talking about just a minute ago. So with the Six of Swords, what are you trying to escape from? But also, how are you trying to escape? You know, are you trying to take a break and meditate on your issues, something like that, and resolve the conflict? Or are you just ignoring, essentially, the conflict? Because you don't want to ignore it. I feel very much so if you try to ignore the conflict, that itself will cause more issues, right? The conflict will remain. It'll maybe even get worse depending on what it is, what's going on in your mind. And you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. Since this is about the body, this is, you physically. So you physically trying to run away from your problems, whatever's going on, that is not going to be a very good solution. So if this is an escape for rejuvenation, for rejuvenation's sake, then, that can make more sense because it may be necessary to take a break. If you're going on a vacation or something because maybe this conflict of the mind and the Five of Swords is like, has more to do with stress at work, let's just say, then taking a vacation could very much be not running away from your problems, but it is a good break to rejuvenate yourself. But here's the thing, with the Six of Swords, if you still have the swords here in the picture, I feel like that conflict has still come with you. As if while you may be on vacation, you are dealing with the conflict still. Maybe you're still having to take calls and deal with people that are causing you stress, like from work, just as an example, And if that's the case, that one, that's understandable, but two, that still goes to show that there is a need to deal with it. Maybe there's some restructuring at work or something that needs to be done, and you're not able to do so, right now, but that may be something that needs to be done. Otherwise, when you go back to this situation, it will be the same thing, the same stressful thing. So if this conflict is still following you, then it still is necessary to deal with it in whatever way you can, whatever way would work and can get you a better mindset. A better mindset. Now, this third card is spirit. So I feel like, especially if you are spiritual, then this very much is finding your center in yourself. It's very much about hope for sure. The star card is about hope, but it is about connecting to a higher power. It's about feeling that higher power, that divine energy, and being like, okay, so I'm okay, things are fine. You may even be aware of what I've already talked about on both this mind and body card. You may already be aware of it. And so this is a recognition of that, where you're like, okay, I just need to step away. That's another reason why I was saying the Six of Swords may be you actually doing good and really taking just precaution and taking a vacation or meditating or something like very productive. You're not just escaping from your problems, you're actually just being very productive. And that's because of this star. You're aware that there is light at the end of the tunnel, whatever the situation is. Even if it's not a serious issue for you, that doesn't mean it can't, be stressful. So there's no issue, there's nothing wrong with having hope for something even that seems trivial. That's, not the issue. But the spirituality is just connecting to a higher power and understanding that things are going to be okay. For me personally, that is God. I very much feel connected to God, and the spirit is something that definitely helps direct me and keep me on the right path with things and just to kind of give me those nudges to know that I'm on the right path, right? Or making the right decision or something. And so for you, something similar, whatever your beliefs are. This spirituality has to do with you connecting to that power and understanding that there's hope. So I think that's good. Your spirit is in good measure. I think it's the other two that are, well, full of conflict. So that's good that you haven't let like this conflict corrupt any other aspect of your being, your spirit, anything like that. So let's check the deck actually. The Page of Swords. And the Knight of Cups. So let me bring these down. Okay. So with the Page of Swords being the bottom of the deck, I mean, this is about... It's being on, as the card even says itself, like being on guard and like kind of waiting for new information or something like that. I think this is you very much waiting for things to change. You're sort of taking the time to get new information from, again, using that work example, you're on guard, kind of waiting for more information to make changes to the situation, because especially if it's something that's a little out of your hands, then I could understand that feeling of being on guard. You're just waiting for more information, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you are on some sort of break right now, you've traveled somewhere or something, then yeah, it is a time where you're going to be waiting, so that you can resolve this situation. And then we get the Knight of Cups, and now this is about, romance and love and, emotional expression and everything. And I feel whatever the situation is, it's something that's needing like love. It's needing care for yourself and for others. And so if this is something that you're either learning to do, or this is new information, for example, then whatever the situation is, it needs care. You need to be a knight of the emotions. This isn't being, the Knight of Swords, and it's about being just really quick and sharp and getting things done. It's sort of like a rapid pace of things. This Knight of Cups is definitely a lot more, slower and caring and, like careful with what it's doing. So you are very much needing to use love in this situation. So if this is something like work, then it's not getting, blowing your top off or anything over something. Or if this is more of like a personal issue, like a relationship or something with family, then it's just being, loving and caring towards this conflict in order to resolve it. So think about that. In what ways could, for your situation, in what ways could love be the answer? Just, again, being caring and more of a soft force than like a hard force. This isn't the time to be some sort of warrior. This is a time to be kind and compassionate. So in what ways is compassion the answer for you? I think just to think about that. If you know your situation, right, your conflict, and whatever this escape is for you, whatever your particular situation this connects to, and then you are sort of waiting on things at the moment with the Page of Swords, then once the situation comes to a head again, whenever you're dealing with the conflict of the Five of Swords, then in what way can love be the answer? Because you already have this card of spirituality. And so if you very much are connecting to a higher power, your spirituality is not something that's really affected yet. I mean, if the conflict were to get worse, I'm sure that could be an issue. But if you are still able to keep that in check, you still have a good heart and you still have hope for the situation, whatever's going on, then the answer is, how can love be the answer? So just think about that. How can you use love to resolve this situation? And that is going to be your answer. Because while your mind, body, and spirit aren't, terrible by any means, I mean, we're always able to fix the situations as long as we take the time to figure it out, then, we're good. But for you, yeah, your mind and your body are a little, you know, they're not necessarily doing their best right now, but your spirit is doing good. So just remember that you're doing good. You're doing good. So just, try to see in what way love can be the answer for you to resolve this situation, and you'll be good. And then you can get your mind and body in better order, So that is what I have for you guys today. If you would like to book a private session with me, you can check my email below, as well as you could find my PayPal if you'd like to donate. Otherwise, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this connects to you. I would love to hear your story, what's going on. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next reading. Take care.